Alright guys, let's go for the W course in Studienkolleg Mittelhessen. In this lecture, you'll learn how to apply for the W course or W-Kurs at Studienkolleg Mittelhessen through three channels: the University of Marburg, University of Gießen, and also Technische Hochschule Mittelhessen. Doesn't matter which of these you choose, you end up in the same Studienkolleg, namely the Studienkolleg Mittelhessen, and at the W-Kurs, W course. Okay, please go to uni-assist.de, sign in to your account here in My Assist. You can sign into your account. I'm already signed in. There you go. You can do the application via English or German. You can select the language up right here, Sprache, Deutsch, English. I would stick to German because it's much easier to understand the courses because sometimes they're translated. For example, I want to apply for Betriebswirtschaftslehre, BWL, and it's translated into business administration. And the problem is sometimes you also have another program called business administration, which is like half German, half English, for which you need to have other requirements, for example, an IELTS next to your German knowledge, and we don't want to mess up with that. We want to be very exact. So I choose the German version of the site to be sure that I'm doing everything right. All right, the Wintersemester 2021. Beware, you need to select the right semester. Sometimes there are dates here which are in the past. So you might, here you go, there you go, Sommersemester 2021. Now we are in April. Sommersemester is vorbei. It's behind us. It's gone. Why is it here? I don't know. But let's skip that. Let's beware what you're selecting here. It's very important. Wintersemester 21. And in the future, of course, you need to know for which semester you're applying and select the right semester, right? Now we are in April 2021. And I'm applying for Wintersemester 2021, which is going to have an entry test in June. We already talked about that. Okay, I click on Erweiterte Suche so that I have more options here to choose from. But most importantly, for the Hochschule, I go to Marburg. There you go, Philipps Universität Marburg. I select that one. And up here I say Wirtschaftsinformatik. Wirtschaftsinformatik. I choose the Wirtschaftsinformatik because, first of all, it has a W course in it because of its Wirtschaft, but also it is NC-frei. I have already talked about that, why I go for NC-frei, non-NC options. I don't want to mess up with this application because if you go for something which is NC, you might get rejected for any reason, right? Because too many people applied, or now they don't offer it, or next year they don't want to offer that program or whatsoever. So I go for the safest option here. Details anzeigen, I see the details, it's just the typical stuff which are for all the programs of Marburg written down there. Here you can click on the links and see what is going on with those applications. With those links where you can read more information about this program and the general application. But beware, there are the information here mostly, almost all for bachelor applicants, not for Studienkolleg applicants, which makes the whole thing tricky. Because here you have to apply for bachelors. As you can see here, there is no Studienkolleg. You have to apply for bachelors, and then Uni-Assist will say, wait a second, you have indirect university entrance qualifications, so you need to go to Studienkolleg. But this information is unfortunately not for Studienkolleg applicants, and that's why it can be actually misleading. So just proceed with what I'm saying. You will be all fine. I chose Wirtschaftsinformatik. I say auswählen. I choose it. I choose that one, and it actually ends up in my basket. I have forgotten something in my basket previously. Okay, I will delete that one. Whatever. Let's go for another choice. For example, if I go instead of Wirtschaftsinformatik, if I go for Betriebswirtschaftslehre, BWL, bachelors, there you go. It is NC. It is NC, and the problem with this program is it also wants English certificates from you. If you go to the program and check the requirements here in the Mehr, here finden Sie die Auswahlgrenzen, and there is even a selection because it's NC, right? Now, usually at the Studienkolleg level, they wouldn't check your English certificate and all this stuff. But for example, I have seen cases where a student got the invitation letter from the Studienkolleg here, which was saying like on this and that date, you need to come and attend your entry test. But you also like in the end, when you want to go to this program, beware that you need to give us an IELTS or TOEFL certificate and all this stuff. So the applicant went to the embassy and applied for a visa. And everything was fine. But the embassy said, oh, where is your IELTS? And the applicant was like, no, I need that in a year from now. Like when I want to enter the university, not for Studienkolleg. And they were like, yeah, well, but you need to have it now, because then how do you want to do that? Now you're learning German and we don't feel that your English is too good. So they rejected the visa application. That's why I would go with simplest stuff, really. Like, don't make your life more complicated than it is. Go for the simple stuff. I can click on Auswählen so that you see it works. It just gets added to my basket up here. But I will delete this one in the end, to be honest. Okay, let's go for the other university, Gießen. There you go, Gießen. Really? Hochschule Gießen? It didn't show anything. Ah, that's because this thing is here. I removed that one. Now I say Gießen. Justus Liebig Universität Gießen. I chose that one. For University of Gießen, I go for Sozialwissenschaften. Hier, Sozialwissenschaften, NC frei, Bachelor of Arts, Justus Liebig Universität Gießen, Details anzeigen, like very normal stuff, very like, it is Hauptfach, it's Erststudium, just Vollzeit, it's just typical stuff what you always see in this spot. There are also links to the program and stuff, you can go and see it, but beware. Don't get misled, because this information is about bachelor's program, what you find in these links usually. Not usually about Studienkolleg. For example, Deutschkenntnisse, they will say, well, you need a C1. But you are not going to do bachelor's directly, right? I assume if you are listening to me at this point, of course, you know that you have an indirect university entrance qualification. So you need to go to a Studienkolleg, so you don't need C1, but you need a B2. All right, that said, if you are reading, you should always be alarmed that some of the information is not really relevant for you, most of it actually. Then we click on Auswählen, choose. There you go, we have added it to our box here. Actually, I have chosen 3 so far, so one was just there. I will go and see what it is there, but ignore that one for now. Let's go for the last university. THM, Technische Hochschule Mittelhessen. Again, I need to delete that one. THM, Technische Hochschule Mittelhessen. I click that one. And here again, also, I would like to go for Wirtschaftsinformatik. There you go, bachelor's. Watch out, not to click on this one. It's master's. Let's go here for bachelor's. There you go. That's safer. If you choose this, the topics in the filter, that's much safer. Wirtschaftsinformatik bachelor's, and it is also NC frei. I have chosen these programs wisely to be, on the safe side. But of course, you need to read. You need to correspond to the universities. We have talked about this. Do not rely 100% on what I'm saying, but 99% is going to be correct, And that 1% is not that it's not correct now. Anytime it can change, like things can change with these regulations and universities. So suddenly THM might say, for next semester, we do not offer Wirtschaftsinformatik. And of course, in that stage, if you see such a thing, you need to contact them right away and say, hey, I'm a Studienkolleg applicant. Can I apply for this program, knowing that I go to Studienkolleg or not? We have talked about correspondence, right? And I assume you are really on top of that and you know what you're doing. But I have chosen the safest options, which are valid now. All right, then it says Wirtschaftsinformatik, BSc, Bachelor of Science. Everything's good, typical stuff as we know. Technische Hochschule Mittelhessen. Let's click on Mehr here. It says you need to have B2 by the time that you apply, and you need to have C1 when you enroll, but not in Studienkolleg, in the bachelor program. I'm so sorry that this information is not for Studienkolleg, and it's for bachelor, and it's actually misleading for you, and it's unfair. But you know what? We cannot do anything about it. Let's just understand it and just utilize our knowledge to bring you to your desired Studienkolleg, and then we are all good. Even this Bewerbungsfrist 15th of July, it is for bachelor studies, not for Studienkolleg. And you know what? They should have really had a Studienkolleg option here, to my eyes. But okay, it's not there. Now, the most important thing is that you know what you're doing. You can, of course, get a link to the THM and go and see their pages and all this stuff. But more than in giving you more information, rather than giving you more knowledge, they will actually mislead you because you are a Studienkolleg applicant. So I click on Weniger. I don't want all that information. All good. I say Auswählen. Perfect. I have that also here, up there. Amazing. We have that covered. Let's now go and see how our basket looks like. We have Gießen, Marburg, and TH Mittelhessen. All right, now we have 5 options, and it costs 195 euros. But this is really not necessary to apply for 5 programs at 3 universities, which will basically send you in the same Studienkolleg. It is insane, to be honest, right? What is the whole purpose of it? So I would really delete most of it. Here we have NC-frei, Orts-NC, NC-frei, and Orts-NC. I would stick to something NC-frei, and something that I would be sort of interested in so that I can justify for the German embassy if you need a visa, you know, like if you want to study Sozialwissenschaften, why? If you want to study, this biology thing, sorry, it's from the past. I just saw that now. It needs to be deleted. I'm sorry. It's for the M course, and I forgot to delete that. Now it's deleted. Okay, Sozialwissenschaften, Wirtschaftsinformatik, Betriebswirtschaftslehrer, Wirtschaftsinformatik again, and this is Mittelhessen, Marburg, and Gießen. Okay, that's all good. And even here, for Marburg, I would get rid of the BWL. There you go, bestätigen. Now I have 3 options. All 3 are good. The thing is, here Wirtschaftsinformatik and Wirtschaftsinformatik, both of them are T- und W-Kurs. That means, if the Studienkolleg wants to dictate that you sit at the T-Kurs, provided that your indirect university entrance qualification allows it, then you cannot do anything against it. That's why I like this one. This one must send you to W-Kurs. Well, actually, this is also W-Kurs and G-Kurs. So we come to one very important topic here. Regardless of which of these you choose, you need to write to the uni assist and tell them, hey guys, I want to study W-Kurs. Please give me an admission for the W-Kurs. They will give this request to the Studienkolleg as well. If Studienkolleg gives you an admission for the T-Kurs, for example, with this option or this one, or a G-Kurs with this one, you should write to them before the entry test and say, hey guys, I want to get admitted to the W-Kurs. I don't want G-Kurs, I don't want T-Kurs, because these programs are multidisciplinary. They are sitting in between the courses. And I didn't find any program which would be only W-Kurs, to be honest, in these programs. Betriebswirtschaftslehrer was only W-Kurs, the one that I deleted. You can also go on with that, but in your shoes, I would actually correspond to the University of Marburg and ask if, do you need English? Do you need something else? Am I safe for application to the Studienkolleg? That should also be fine. So you have either that road, Betriebswirtschaftslehrer at University of Marburg, apply for that one, or go for any of these and then correspond. How do you correspond? We have already taught that. But before we go there, let me say here, you say zur Kasse gehen, basically, and you pay. Don't do this whole thing. You don't need all 3, just go for one. So if it was me, I would actually delete this one, and I would delete that one. So I would remain with Sozialwissenschaften, Gießen, Bachelor of Arts, and NC-frei. That's a good one. I would go with that one. And if it's your first application, it's 75 euros. If it's second, third, whatsoever application in that semester, it will be 30 euros. Say zur Kasse again. I have shown you that one. You will basically pay, and your online application is done. The only thing I would like to add here is that here you see keine offenen Pflichtfragen. In your case, probably it says there are mandatory questions to be answered. Why do I not have offene Pflichtfragen? Because before recording this course, I was doing the Marburg T-Kurs and M-Kurs, so I answered these questions. Let's take a look at it. In your case, it should be red probably when you click on it. There are a bunch of questions. Oh my God, this is basically your CV that they asked for again for all this information. And here comes the trick. Don't answer any of these questions. Only answer the ones which are mandatory. Leave the ones which are not mandatory alone. Leave them empty. These are not mandatory. How do I know? They are not red. I go to the red ones here on the second page. Here, 5, it says 0 out of 0 because there are 0 mandatory ones. And then 5 out of 5 has been answered. So 5 mandatory ones and 5 have been answered. I'm sorry, it has already been answered because I showed the T course and M course right before. So, but basically this will be red. What it says is, beantragen Sie die Aufnahme in einen studienvorbereitenden Deutschkurs. Do you want to attend a German preparatory course before Studienkolleg? Ich weiß es nicht. I don't know. You tell me. Do I need that or not? You can click on yes or no, of course. But this is the best option. You leave it to them. Leave it to them. They can tell you if it's necessary or not. Usually it's not, because any other option will be very rigid from your side. Leave the options on the table. I don't know. You tell me. Do I need to go to German course? But if you submit your B2, that's probably not the case. But for example, if you don't get your visa on time and all this stuff, or if you fail the entry test, you can then attend a German course actually instead, and then do the next semester entry test, So this is a good option. Just put it up there. Verfügen Sie über Deutschkenntnisse. Do you know German? Yes, of course I know. I mean, how else do you want to study in Germany? Yes, I know. And here it says like what kind of degree you have and when did you learn it. Leave it empty. They will get your language certificate, so they can check it themselves. Okay? Haben Sie einen Teststuff? Do you have a teststuff? If yes, say yes. If no, say no. The rest of the information, don't provide it. If you have a teststuff, you are supposedly sending your transcript to them, right? In your application document. So they will fill it out themselves. I was sitting in uni as I'm doing this stuff. I know what I'm talking about. Leave it. Leave it. They will do it perfectly. Better than you, believe me. It will actually it will not benefit you. It will just harm you putting any information on these unnecessary questions, so to speak. Besuchen Sie gegenwärtig einen Deutschkurs. Do you attend German course now? Yes, you're learning German, right? I assume you're learning a little bit of German every day for some reason, because you are coming to Germany. You want to come to Germany. So yes, the answer is yes. Unless you really don't attend any kind of course, not online, not listening to anything in German, then you can say no. But I think the answer would be yes for most of you. Englischkenntnisse. Englischkenntnisse, verfügen Sie über Englischkenntnisse, yes or no? Do you know English, yes or no? Yes, you can answer. If you're listening to me and you're understanding this course, then you know English, right? So the answer is yes, there you go. This is usually important for for programs which require English. For example, the Betriebswirtschaftslehre at Uni Marburg. For that case, you usually need to have a certificate as well, or some reason why your English is so good. You're a native speaker, you have done your high school has been at an international school. But let's not enter that road now, because it gets too complicated. For Studienkolleg, it is usually not necessary to prove that, because Studienkolleg is all German. And if you go for programs like Betriebswirtschaftslehre, as we said, contact the university and ask once, do you need me to show you some English proof at this level, or is it for later? Okay, that said, all these stuff are not mandatory. I leave them alone. I say speichern, save. There you go. And that's how it's green. Otherwise, it would have been red if I had left some of those questions empty. And then you can say zur Kasse gehen, and then you do the payment, basically. Okay, the only thing that remains is that you need to contact the university in which you want to study, like to which you have applied, and tell them, hey, I want to go to W-Kurs, W-Kurs. Don't send me to T-Kurs or G-Kurs or whatsoever, right? I want to go to W-Kurs, because even Sozialwissenschaften is a combination of W and G course. That means that if you're allowed to do only G course, you get accepted here. If you're allowed to do W course, you get accepted here. But if you have a general university entrance qualification, but indirect, general meaning that you can do M, T, W, whatever, right? Then they might actually say, okay, let's send him to G course. But they're like, no, I don't want to do G course, because after that, for my bachelor's studies, I want to do business and administration or economics. And I know that I don't want to do G course. I want to do V course. So you have two possibilities. One of them is that you contact the university, but then you should do that after they give you an admission, sort of. So they invite you for the entry test, and then you need to get back to them. And on the invitation letter, there is contact details with email and telephone number and all this stuff, and then you can get back to them. But at this stage, they don't know you. They have not even received your application. So one thing you can do is, after you do the submission and all this stuff, you go down here to the contact part, click on contact, you're signed in, so they know who you are when you contact them. Zum Kontaktformular. You go to zum Kontaktformular. Here you go to, it really doesn't matter which one you choose, but let's say you go to, here, mein Prüfergebnis, or no, let's say, Bewerben über UniAssist. Application through UniAssist, right? Here you say Bewerben für mehrere Studiengänge. The problem is their options are not even covering everything. But then the last option here is important for me. Haben Sie noch Fragen? Dann schreiben Sie uns hier. Finally, you have found a place to write to UniAssist. Oh my God, how complex should that be? Ihre Nachricht an UniAssist. Here you can write, hi. I have applied for Sozialwissenschaften to Uni Marburg, Uni Gießen, I think it was. Doesn't matter really, they see it in your profile. I would like to attend the W-Kurs, please, at the Studienkolleg. Thank you, thanks. That's it. Here. And most probably, the person who takes care of your application here will actually send this request along with your application to the university. If they don't, then once you get the invitation letter, raise an issue with the university. You'll get the contact details on the admission letter and tell them, hey, I actually told UniAssist too, I want W-Kurs, I don't want T-Kurs, or I don't want G-Kurs. If they invite you for something else than W-Kurs, right? And then you say Zen, and then you have it, right? There you go. And then you receive a reply from them a couple of days or weeks later. Right, if you click on UniAssist logo here and you go back to this page, you can see that for Marburg, there you go. We have the option of Betriebswirtschaftslehre here, bachelor's, Orts-NC. This is NC, right? A little bit riskier to apply, but it's really only W-Kurs, only and only W-Kurs. So if you don't want to mess up with the W and G course or W and T course and you want to be only going to W-Kurs for sure, this could be an option. Just make sure that you know the requirements and that they don't need some English certificate from you, and at the time of Studienkolleg you have to submit it and all this stuff. I can tell you that for now in March 2021, this is all good. This is all fine. It could work. In the future, we will see. Write to us in the Q&A section. Tell us about your experience. The common wisdom that we carry together will be very helpful. So those of you who have some experience with this, write to us. Tell us what happened and help your colleagues, right? Wishing you a lot of success, a lot of luck, and see you in the next lectures.